Which is better, the Samsung Galaxy A10s or the Samsung Galaxy A20? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. Hi everyone, this is Kevin here, coming at you with my comparison between the Samsung Galaxy A10s and the Samsung Galaxy A20. Now the Samsung Galaxy A10s is very new to the market. It was recently launched, and earlier in the year other Galaxy A10 phones such as the regular A10 and A10e were launched as well, but this device is completely different. And the Samsung Galaxy A20 was launched earlier in the year. The device is available as a US unlocked phone. You can also get the international unlocked Galaxy A20, and you can even get this from a variety of different carriers. So for example, this phone is actually the Metro by T-Mobile version of the Galaxy A20, but it's almost exactly the same as the international version of the device. But you can find links in the video description for both of these phones unlocked on Amazon. Now for both devices, you are limited to using these with GSM carriers in the US, so that includes AT&T, T-Mobile, Metro by T-Mobile, and Cricket. Now the Galaxy A10s is available on Amazon for around $130, and the Galaxy A20 is available for around $160. The reason why I say that is because it seems like the prices for these two phones are always changing, so definitely make sure to take a look at the links in the video description to see the most up-to-date pricing. Now the Galaxy A10s features a 6.2-inch display coming in at 720p with a 271 ppi and a 19:9 aspect ratio. And the display features LCD technology. And the Samsung Galaxy A20 features a larger 6.4-inch display, also at 720p with a 19.5:9 aspect ratio. And this device features an AMOLED display. So AMOLED technology is better than LCD. I have the brightness turned up completely on both phones, and you can definitely see side by side here, the A20 is the brighter of the two phones with better colors. Especially compare the camera icon there, how much brighter the red is on the A20 compared to the A10s. But the good news though is that the A10s still has a very good looking display, despite it being LCD, but there's no doubt that the A20 does have the better looking display of the two. Now up top here, both devices feature teardrop notches, and they both have 8 megapixel front-facing cameras. Both phones also have 32 gigabytes of internal storage with SD card expansion. You do not get wireless charging with either device, but they both do have fingerprint sensors on the back. So we'll try those out right now, starting with the A10s. So that was really quick with that fingerprint sensor on the A10s. Now we'll try out the A20, and that was really quick as well. So very nice, fast fingerprint sensors on both devices. Also with both phones, we get dual cameras on the back. Now with the A10s, we get a 13 megapixel main camera and a 2 megapixel secondary camera. The secondary camera gives you kind of a telephoto mode as well. And of course, you get portrait mode with this phone. And with the Galaxy A20, we also get a dual camera setup giving you portrait mode with a 13 megapixel main camera and a 5 megapixel secondary camera. But what's cool about this 5 megapixel secondary camera is that it's also a wide angle camera. So let me show you exactly what you're getting with that wide angle camera, because it really is pretty awesome. So let's pull up the cameras on both phones. So you can see here that this is on the normal mode on both, and we have pretty much the same amount of content that fits into the viewfinder here. But I'm going to switch now to the wide angle option, and you can see how much more stuff fits in. So it's pretty dramatic, and I definitely am a big fan of wide-angle cameras. Now the secondary option on the A10s is the telephoto, and it definitely does zoom you in quite a bit there. But I do wish that instead of it having telephoto, it did have a wide-angle camera. I think that definitely is a lot more useful, but that is my personal opinion, because there are a lot of people out there that definitely do like to have telephoto. Now with the Galaxy A10s, we're getting 2 gigabytes of RAM and the MediaTek Helio P22 processor. And with the Galaxy A20, we're getting 3 gigabytes of RAM and getting the Samsung Exynos 7904 processor. So we get an extra gig of RAM with the Galaxy A20 and a dramatically different processor. Now the A10s is one of the first Samsung phones that I've personally used with the MediaTek Helio processor, and the Helio line of processors from MediaTek are definitely a lot better than other processors offered by the company in the past. Now, I did do an Antutu benchmark test on both phones, so you can see here how they compare. With the Galaxy A20, we do get a dramatically better benchmark score there. So we have an overall score with the Galaxy A10s of 72420, and with the A20 we have a score of 109008. So they're not too far apart, but you definitely do get a better score with the A20, no doubt about that. Now what's especially interesting is the CPU score. So with the Galaxy A10s we get a score of 34915, and with the A20 we get a score of 48115. So based off these scores, it definitely seems like the Exynos processor is a lot better than the MediaTek processor. Now, video recording with both devices maxes out at 1080p at 30 frames per second. They both have 4000 mAh internal batteries, so very beefy, large batteries with both phones, and they also both run Android 9 Pie. Now you can see that they both feature Samsung skin here on top with a variety of different Samsung applications pre-installed, and that's pretty typical with what you'd find with a Samsung budget phone. So I think on their own, both devices do have good specifications. There's no doubt that the Galaxy A20 does have better specs of the two devices. Now you can see here holding the bases of the two displays up next to each other, we definitely do get a slightly larger display with the A20, but both displays are pretty similar in size overall. The fact that the A20 has a slightly different aspect ratio with 19.5 by 9 versus 19 by 9 does make this display slightly thinner but taller. Both phones have a little bit of a chin on the bottom as well. Now taking a look at the left side of the two devices, on the A10s we have the SIM card slot, which is actually dual SIM, and you get a micro SD card slot in there too. You get the volume buttons, and that's it. And then on the Galaxy A20, all we have on the left side is the slot for the micro SD card and SIM card. Then on the right side of the two phones, on the A10s, we just have the power button, and on the Galaxy A20, we have the volume button and we have the power button. Then taking a look at the top of both devices, they both just have the noise canceling microphone. Then on the bottom of the two phones, on the A10s, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack with the microphone. We have the micro USB port for charging and data transfer, so this does have micro USB, and we have the speaker. And on the Galaxy A20, we have the speaker, we have the microphone, we have the USB-C port, so I'm really glad this does have USB-C, and we have the headphone jack. And then on the back of the two phones, we do have a pretty similar setup here with the dual camera setup, the flash, the fingerprint sensor, and the Samsung logos. I'm definitely a big fan though of this blue color that you get with the A10s. But this charcoal color is pretty nice too on the A20. But you're essentially getting the same exact build quality with both phones. Let's now do a speed test comparison between these two devices. We're going to start by pulling up the camera. So 1, 2, 3, go. And it looks like it was about a tie with pulling up the camera. Both devices were pretty quick at doing that. Let's now pull up Google Chrome. So 1, 2, 3, go. And it looks like the A20 was quicker at pulling up Google Chrome. Let's now go to yahoo.com. 1, 2, 3, go. Looks like the A20 was quicker at pulling up Yahoo as well. Let's go to engadget.com. 1, 2, 3, go. Looks like the A20 was quicker at pulling up Engadget too. Now, looking at these displays side by side, you can definitely see right now how much brighter the A20 is compared to the A10s. Let's now try some scrolling, starting with the A10s. So pretty smooth, not too bad. And now we'll do some scrolling with the A20. Definitely a bit smoother and more responsive, that's for sure. We'll go up to the top now with both phones. Let's go to this article. 1, 2, 3, go. And the A20 was quicker at pulling up the article. We'll try some zooming in. Very smooth on the A20. And on the A10s, it's pretty smooth too. So I think the Galaxy A10s and the Galaxy A20 are both good phones. If you have an extra $30 to $40 to spend, I would definitely go with the A20 over the A10s. The A20 is better in every way, and I especially like how the A20 has that wide-angle camera on the back. So I think you'll definitely be happy if you have to go with the A10s, but the A20 is certainly the better choice of the two. So I'm really curious to know your thoughts about that and which device you would rather get. Would you rather save a little bit of money and get the A10s or spend a little bit of extra money and get the A20? Definitely let me know in the comments section below. And if you're interested in buying either of these two phones factory unlocked, definitely take a look at the link in the video description to where you can get them on Amazon. But this is Kevin here. This is the Samsung Galaxy A10s. This is the Galaxy A20. And I will see you in the next video.